I say, everything had to be in place correctly, safe, before the stadiums and the league could be opened up again. Muggy night, no spectators, but as we've seen in football and across one or two of the different sports that have opened up again since lockdown was eased, spectators, well, you could debate the effect or the influence they have on proceedings as much as you like. It's a fascinating new part of the new normal. So we shall move through the Tokyo team. Back four of Nakamura, Watanabe, Morishige and Okawa. That's a settled unit. Nakamura comes in on the right-hand side. Takahagi and Arthur will anchor the defence. Higashi and Leandro either side of the young gun Shuto Abe, supporting Diego Oliveira up front. Interesting, actually, Shuto Abe at just 22, fulfilling the role of playmaker. Korean international goalkeeper Jung for Kawasaki Frontale. So, third match in, third time that Toru Aniki has fielded this squad. Yamane, Taniguchi, Jessiel, Noborizato, Wakizaka, Tanaka, the experienced club legend Oshima, Hasegawa, Damiao, and Ienaga going forward. He was excellent on match day one. Akihiro Ienaga, the veteran at 34. He's a massively decorated player. The most successful individual player, Akihiro Ienaga, in the Frontale ranks. Hiroyuki Kimura heads up today's refereeing team. So, FC Tokyo in the red and blue. Vast arena of the Ajinomoto, which hosted World Cup matches last year. The Japan team have played here. It's a metropolitan area boasting some stunning sporting facilities and infrastructure. The Greater Tokyo. Got a moment for modesty. Wonderful tribute there to the brave souls in the emergency services who've done so much above and beyond the call of duty to battle COVID-19. Kenta Hasegawa had huge success with the Yokohama F. Marinos, both as a player and since turning to coaching. Toru Aniki, his fourth year as coach of Frontale. He too was a bit of a club legend. The best part of 200 times for them in the late 90s and early 2000s. Going to be very interesting to see how Diego Oliveira copes, the 30-year-old Brazilian. FC Tokyo against Kawasaki Frontale here. It's the J-League. It's match day 3. Two unbeaten sides here going head-to-head at the Ajinomoto Stadium. Been an unbroken run in J1 since 2011 and FC Tokyo's last promotion. Frontale have had the better of recent meetings. 2 victories over the course of the last half-decade, a pair of draws. Just the 1 victory for FC Tokyo. And the home side with Diego Oliveira. And that'll be an opportunity to support for the retreating right-sided player who's forward already, the newcomer into the team, Nakamura. Because that really is where Moroya excels for FC Tokyo. The more experienced right-sided player coming forward. Nakamura in today, but again, Nakamura, one of those players, literally strayed into the team last year from Meiji University. Frontale with scant opportunity yet to string a couple of passes together to settle themselves. That's Arthur Silva. Play down the right-hand side or across the middle. Arthur Silva, the 25-year-old. One of FC Tokyo's foreign players. A difficult opening as well. That's the Brazilian for Frontale, Damião. He doesn't look to be moving too freely either, does he? There's a problem there with the left thigh, maybe. Arthur's picked that up. No foul there on Wakizaka. Nabarizato will pick it up. So 10 there, Ryota Oshima. As well as the club scene. Oshima's international prospects for this year were undermined as well due to COVID-19. Have a small smattering of players out there that, well, will remain, of course, part of the Japanese setup, but just had that particular route of progression in their game personally curtailed over the last 4 or 5 months or so. Frontale trying something with Wakizaka. There's width here. Useful ball in, and Damião met it. It's going to be a handful for Watanabe and Morishige. No doubt about that. Leandro Damião. Wrong side of 30 now, turns 31 in just a couple of weeks actually, but a more than useful journeyman striker, and it was a delightful clip ball into him as well. He certainly got there ahead of Nakamura. A delightful pass in as well, wasn't it, by Ian Arga, whose assist for Hasegawa's winner at the weekend against the Antlers with a thing of beauty. They were really impressive, actually, in that victory over the Antlers. Were Frontale at the weekend. That on the back of the goalless draw with Totsu on match day 1. That's a little bit loose though from Tanaka. And a quick transition as well as there's a hint of an opening. His first touch was a little bit loose there, Abe, so Wakizaka was entitled to just try and pick his pocket. Nakamura. Lovely interplay again. It's Arthur moving forward this time. And Borisato getting back. Arthur Silva joined in 2018. The 4 the Brazilians on the books of FC Tokyo. They have another foreign player in Hoano Mari, the Lebanese defender. promising. Hasegawa, he's made inroads as well. Damiao has to move away and try and give him an option. Tanaka there, anchoring the midfield. Useful pass there by Taniguchi. Hasegawa. Oshima. Leandro Damiao. Well, he held the ball up well to begin with, and then it was a rather lame concession of possession. No score at the Ajinomoto. Damiao. And the ball just wriggled away from him. Allowed Arthur to get his foot in. Yamane now. Tanaka. Noborizato. Little layoff, and Noborizato is chopped down. Well, I suppose in some circles that goes down as a reducer. And I think that's why Higashi was motioning in such a fashion to the referee. Yeah, just give me that one and I'll take a yellow card next time round. So the opposite number 10 now. Hasegawa. Noborizato. Useful passing movements here. Oshima tries to thread it through Wakizaka, but Nakamura got the touch in, and then Arthur back helping. Well played. Arthur just taking that situation by the scruff of the neck there. Touch around the corner, but Higashi will pick it up. And it had to be cleared there from Watanabe, as the goalkeeper was a little coy there in coming out there, Hayashi. And not enough room there for Noborizato and Oshima to fashion the little 1-2, but some nice technical touches here from the visitors, Frontale. Well, he's all smiles, is Higashi, but that's a couple of silly free kicks, really, that he's conceded. Very much in the club legend territory with Keigo Higashi, the international player who's been here 7 years now. Yasuto Wakizaka standing over the free kick. Oh, and it demanded contact near post. None was forthcoming though. So through to Hayashi. Then Ogawa. Arthur. Was that mobile role? Very much a box-to-box player. Well, that's Diego Oliveira. Dispossessed, but his Brazilian compatriot picks up the pieces. Useful pass as well. Well, it was through for the Takahagi. Bit of a shame that. It's a good run forward. Two getting in each other's way, but again, it's an indication of Arthur's commitment to help out, but that's pushed through, and the first decent opportunity of the match is squandered by Hasegawa. It was onto his left foot, and it was after Arthur here had collided with his own teammate. Poor communication, really, in the FC Tokyo ranks there, and it was helped on quickly by Wakizaka. Then Hasegawa just gets under the shot. Oh. Nakamura cuts down the angle, and that gives him something to think about, but it's disappointing there for Hasegawa to not at least work the goalkeeper Hayashi. Two FC Tokyo players getting in each other's way there, and if anything, it's Arthur getting back and wanting to control the situation, which ended up putting his own team in jeopardy. Still 0-0. Long ball punted long. Better from Oliveira. Better striking play that from Oliveira. First time he's got round the back. And Abe has license to get forward in front of the first two as well. But the lunging over commitment there of the defender allowed Oliveira to get in behind. He made just one appearance last season, but Yoshito Abe has obviously done enough in the intervening period, the close season, and then the COVID-19 enforced break to make himself indispensable. Corner aimed into the near post is safely defended. Leandro. Not been in the game much so far, Leandro. Here's Abe. That was Watanabe. Higashi. The wide right here, and the captain has, well, 4 blue shirts in the middle to aim at. Well, that was a clever looking pass. Takahagi bent it around really quite delightfully there. But we're still goalless at the Ajinomoto. That was Morishige. Up to Abe. Yeah, they've had more joy when combining down the right-hand side so far, FC Tokyo. They really need Leandro to involve himself a little bit more. Good running through the middle again from Wakizaka. The visitors looking the far more mobile outfit. Hasegawa, the second time he's had a surge down the left-hand side. Can do nothing there, though, as he's snuffed out of it by Watanabe. Hasegawa again. Tanaka. Noborizato. Really gets forward well in support of the attacking players. Kyohei Noborizato wearing 2. Wearing 8 here is Yasuto Wakizaka. Feet there from Oshima. And the cross is heavy. That was a shame. Tidy build-up play from Kawasaki Frontale. Still boasting the core of the team that were back-to-back Japanese champions as recently as 2017 and 18. We know that their 2019 campaign could scarcely reach the heights of those 2 previous seasons. They were 4th in 2019 last year. In contrast that, of course, with FC Tokyo and their phenomenal season. They were eventual runners-up. Couldn't sustain it. actually began with a goalless draw at Kawasaki on the opening day. Oh, that's it off the upright. A terrific effort from Oshima. And Kawasaki Frontale get the opening goal that their pressure has merited. Super build-up play. And then Oshima with an unerring strike from the edge of the area. Noborizato made it look very simple with the throw in there to Damiao. And that's a super hit, isn't it? Clean and clinical. Credit as well, Damiao, for the weight of that layoff. And that's a phenomenal strike there from Oshima. Frontale out in front. 17 minutes gone at the Ajinomoto. Interesting, really, because although the greater possession and territory, if you will, has been FC Tokyo's, as they look to hit back straight away with Diego Oliveira's low effort during the save from Jung. It had actually been Kawasaki whose attacks had been slightly more threatening. And that goal was rich reward, really, for 5 minutes of pressure. Just patient attacking play as well. Corner from Ogawa. In swinger as well. Might have been the goalkeepers, but Yamane took the decision out of his hands. Cushion header in the follow-up there from Morishige. Still don't count a definitive sort of constructive touch yet from Leandro over there on the left-hand side of the FC Tokyo attack. Abe. Oh, lovely little touch in there by Wakizaka. Damiao was dispossessed. It was helped on by Takahagi. Came through Abe. Jeziel. That was tidily done by Frontale's Brazilian defender. No foul on Damiao. Well, that was the first interpretation. No advantage forthcoming here, though. Player involved for FC Tokyo, Masahito Morishige. But he is that type of player, Damiao. He does have that frustrating element about him, but it's the years of experience that he's got in those legs of his, slowing play down, and has the physicality to hold the ball up, as well as the poaching instincts that delivered him 9 goals last season. It's actually the top scorer at the Olympic Games in London 2012 was Leandro Damiao for Brazil. And it seemed that at that tournament Brazil would finally get the elusive Olympic gold and complete their medal set. Didn't happen. They were beaten by the Mexicans at Wembley 8 years ago. Made up for it though in Rio, didn't they? Abe. Oh, nudged it across. No foul there. Arthur trying to put his boot in. Brazilian altercation as Damião penalised. Agawa just edges it over Abe. Ball squirmed away from Takahagi. Counter-attacking opportunities present themselves now for the Kawasaki Frontale. Asigawa, and the tempo is reduced. Wakizaka. Yamane, a right-sided defender. Toru Aniki has got Frontale playing some tidy stuff. Tanaka, the ball just wouldn't break for him there, but they have white players up in support in numbers once again here to Kawasaki Frontale. It's Naborizato, Asigawa. Good-looking pass. That was picked up by Leandro. They've made an awful mess, though, of clearing the lines here, FC Tokyo. Still the white shirts dominate. Oshima. Wakizaka coming short for him. Try and work the little 1-2. Almost like a training ground routine at the moment. Defenders against attackers. Now there might be a surge, and there will indeed be a second goal. And what a second goal from Damião. Oh, wow. The box of tricks was open there. Just play this back and see how they kept possession, Kawasaki Frontale. They were toying with FC Tokyo. Just a little flick. Then there's the layoff from Wakizaka. This is a goal that reeks of technical ability. Fabulous surge to the byline there by Miki Yamane. So that was the moment they upped it. And then when he gets into space, skips around Takahagi, easy as you like, arrows that cross into Leandro Damião. And that is cheeky as finish as you are ever likely to see. Tokyo in trouble. Well, the sort of moment you kind of hope as a neutral onlooker would wish could have had a greater audience. Leandro Damião opens his account for the season for Kawasaki Frontale, and midway through the first half, a quarter of the way through this match, the visitors are in total control. So Damião making the first, Oshima crashing that shot in off the woodwork. And then the brilliant Brazilian adding his own personal touch, his own personal stamp on the second goal of the night. Ogawa slotted that forward. You have to say, though, although we're only 25 minutes in, Frontale have been ruthless in the way they've punished the opposition. FC Tokyo sitting back again. Frontale being invited on. Wakizaka has largely run things in the middle of the park for Frontale so far. That's loose. Abe may be able to pick it up, but there's just something a little bit more laboured about the way FC Tokyo try and break. And Leandro, your man there, has had almost no joy. Here he is again. Nobarizato. Working the angles really well, Tanaka. Hasegawa. Do like the way they move and break the lines. The Kawasaki Frontale, clearly a well-drilled outfit. There's an element of patience around the Kawasaki's play, although that's just a little bit loose, a little bit awkward for the Wakizaka. The Morishige to Watanabe, and although, yeah, he manages to skirt and skate a couple of challenges there, but you know, sucking in through your teeth every time. The Tokyo try and look composed at the back. That's better. Nice interplay, which involves Nakamura. The Borizato back to shut the door on him. The opening 5 minutes or so, when Hotaka Nakamura is looking all set to be a real threat for FC Tokyo down this right-hand side. Again, knowing when to commit forward. Some decent combination play between he and Arthur went unrewarded before Frontale took the reins of this match. Super rangy pass up to Ienaga there by Tanaka. Wakizaka to Ienaga. Two at the far post. One of them's Damiao. He's able to lay it off. And Hasegawa scores number 3. This is turning into a rather straightforward, comfortable stroll in the surroundings here. They are just picking apart their opponents here. The Frontale, it was a pass slung over the top. Ienaga and Wakizaka combining. And then when Damiao just cushions down the cross, Hasegawa is able to pick his spot. Two of them falling over themselves trying to block the shot, but they've effectively walked that ball in. Well, he scored an excellent goal at the weekend from an Ienaga pass, did Hasegawa, and he's more or less done the same here. Not that the goal could have been achieved without Damiao's just gentlest of cushion layoffs. But Tokyo need to just get a grip here. Wasn't really anything in the performances of the opening 2 match days from FCT that may have suggested this. Problem for Nakamura, and that won't be pleasing to Kenta Hasegawa. Oshima, Damiao and Nakamura with the goals. Not even at the 30-minute mark. Arthur, but he's pushed back by Nobarizato. Again, it's the one-touch stuff that enables them to pick their way out of trouble. Wakizaka, always available, always asking for the ball. Hasegawa. Borizato. Tanaka. Shooting chance, goalkeeper spills it, and Arthur has to shovel it away. Ienaga fancy doing it himself there. Well, they just can't get the ball off the opposition at the moment, FC Tokyo. Damiao's layoff. There's Wakizaka. Well, FC Tokyo just have to alter the dial in terms of the attitude here. They're allowing the away team to run rings around them. And that's picked up by Hasegawa, who then threads a rangy pass. These little technical maestros are going to get their hands at the wheel again. The Borizato. Oshima. Tanaka, always probing, always waiting and looking for the best option. None was forthcoming there. And that's a touch off by Diego Oliveira for Leandro. Tries to find Abe, and a terrific challenge tracking back there by Shogo Taniguchi. So they were alert when there was a turnover. Leandro, I sort of count that as a first almost attacking touch, really. Well, Abe has looked as lively as anyone, in fairness, from the FC Tokyo team. Diego perhaps still moving a little gingerly after the injury that forced him off early at the weekend. Decent corner, decent defending as well by Jetiel. Well, plenty of chatter around the FC Tokyo community as regards team selection ahead of this match. I'm not too sure that Kenta Hasegawa rung the changes as many expected him to, but I certainly think there's one eye on perhaps one or two difficult tests to come, much as you talk about just playing the opposition, taking it one game as it comes, but big matches in the not too distant future for FC Tokyo at the Owara Reds, and the resumption of the ACL, the Champions League campaign as well. Yokohama F Marinos and the Reds are the next two opponents for FC Tokyo in the J League. Well, there are further options for FC Tokyo. They've got a tall reserve striker in Kiichi Yajima, and top scorer in the third tier in Japan last season as well, Daiki Hara. If they are looking for other options going forward, which I would contend may well be the case before today is out. Man who's not quite delivering at present, Diego Oliveira. He finds Ogawa. Useful ball over the top as well to Abe. Damiao in the middle. Now Takahagi. A little too leggy though when they needed him to be smooth and clinical and clear-minded. Arthur. Oh, there's the problem for FC Tokyo in microcosm. Good little surge. Nothing happening centrally, and just lacking the imagination as well to try and thread a way through. So we had to go horizontal. Inside the last 10 minutes of the first half at the Ajinomoto Stadium. Match week 3 of the J-League season, and Kawasaki Frontale are 3 up here at FC Tokyo. They've been magnificent. Damiao looking for the 4th. Little cut back there to Oshima. Damiao, again, that little check pass, stubbed with the left foot. Oshima, that trickles loose. Takahagi's going to clear it. Useful. That was Diego Oliveira. Nice link-up play. And Diego now with Leandro, close in support. Step over from Diego Oliveira. Cuts it to the near post. Pressure. And the best attack and the best moment of the match so far for FC Tokyo. Leandro was near post, but he couldn't quite benefit from the almost Ronaldo, the old Ronaldo, style step over there, the double step from Diego Oliveira. Sufficient attention to be being paid to the situation there by Shogo Taniguchi. Damiao, and there's the layoff. Well, one or two brighter signs for FC Tokyo. Higashi's effort bent over the top. It's taken them this long for them to be in this perilous a situation. The serious pressure to be applied to Jung Seung-rong's goal. Oh, they were very flat there, and he wasn't offside. And only loose control, really, from Damiao has prevented Kawasaki from having a very good opportunity at going 4 up. Blowing hard, Leandro Damiao, and you see here, that's the moment, isn't it, to turn the afterburners. Wasn't quite able to do it. Oh, little check pass through. So Takahagi with a chance, but with a ball at his feet and plenty of pitch to run at, he gets tangled up. Oshima, Damiao, referee Hiroyuka Kimura was kind to FC Tokyo that time. Abe, Higashi. Can they step it up? There's Arthur. Takahagi. Nakamura now. Abe. That's the check back. The corner is prevented, but there's a chance to cross for Higashi. And Nakamura. And once again, an FC Tokyo attack just kind of dies away, just erodes. Well, it's a combination of their own difficulties in playing their way through, and Frontale being exceptionally well drilled. They're posting a perfect away performance thus far at Kawasaki Frontale. Hasegawa. Well, more impressive when you consider that Frontale are missing two men who, at the start of the campaign, were deemed obvious big names. We've got Yu Kobayashi, who has been up and amongst the top scorers in the J-League for, what, the last 4 or 5 years. Kenga Nakamura as well. And Takahagi, who has struggled really hard so far, is going to be replaced 4 minutes before half-time by Adailton. Now then, Adailton started the match at the weekend, the victory over Kashiwa when Kenta Hasegawa there. They fiddled around, he changed his winning team. So perhaps Adailton, alongside Arthur, can give them a little bit more rigidity. As you say, 5 subs allowed per match, 3 during play. So that's FC Tokyo striking there first. Abe. Nakamura is the option on the right side. Steady threads it up to Adailton. And Adailton just turns and shoots. 29 years of age now, Adailton. It's his first year at FC Tokyo. Jubilo Iwata got promoted in 2015. He's taken what he sees as a step up. Nakamura, is there time for a surge before we hear the half-time whistle here? FC Tokyo have been taken apart by Kawasaki Frontale in this first half. We've seen 3 goals of real quality. Adailton, he just bends that in between his other 2 Brazilian colleagues there, Leandro and Diego Oliveira. And there's just a nonchalance and composure about the way they carry themselves here, Frontale. Again, it's the slick clearing of their lines came through Hasegawa. No rush either, is there? Not when you're in control like this and have that 3-goal cushion. It's the back-to-back champions of 2017 and 18 producing a champagne-style performance here. They didn't drop out of the top 3 for 10 weeks last season as they were chasing the title hat-trick. Did win the J-League Cup. With that finish of 4th. And Damiao looks for number 4, and it is number 4. Hasegawa, just before half-time, might well have ended this as a contest. FC Tokyo looks shell-shocked. This team that started so impressively this season, 2 wins out of 2, looking strong, unbeaten, just 1 goal conceded. They are being absolutely dismantled at home. Hasegawa's now on a hat-trick. Three extra minutes at the end of the first half here. Nothing, it seems, is going the way of FC Tokyo. That time it was Ogawa. He had an excellent match coming forward on the left-hand side, did Ogawa. at the weekend. But it's a funny old game, isn't it? Something in the air, the mood, the gap in preparation level. Difficult to know exactly what to put such a dramatic dip down to. But you have to deal with the situation in hand, and this is a huge task now for Hasegawa and FC Tokyo. So Jeziel and Shogo Taniguchi. And that central defensive pairing there for Frontale dealt with everything thrown at them more than admirably. At the other end, it's been this guy, Damiao, often controlling the pace of Frontale's attacks. And why not have a go, Wakizaka, with the confidence just flooding through. Half-time at the Ajinomoto, and a real eye-opening score here. FC Tokyo 0, Kawasaki Frontale 4. Frontale have been clinical, and they have been so precious with the possession. Almost the archetypal perfect away performance. Oshima, Damiao, Hasegawa with a brace. Frontale 4-0 up. fabulous 4-goal haul that saw some real scorchers. Couple for Hasegawa, Damiao with, well, just a back heel. And Osima driving home the opening goal to start. It's turning into a rout. No suggestions that FC Tokyo would have folded. You see the start of the J-League 1993 and then so it's the mother of all comeback operations. That's the aim for FC Tokyo. They trailed Kawasaki Frontale by 4-0 at the start of the second half at the Ajinomoto Stadium. And one of the three 100% records so far in J-League 2020 is about to be shattered. Unless Hasegawa's team can fashion something really quite special over the next 3/4 of an hour. FC Tokyo in the red and blue stripes. 2 changes there at the break, taking the substitution tally to 3, all told. After Takahagi was replaced by Adailton during that first half, as it became clear that FC Tokyo were being completely outnumbered. The first moment of discomfort really for Jetiel there, who almost let Leandro at him, and well, more attacking intent in the first 60 seconds of the first half than perhaps the entirety of the first from FC Tokyo. Pressure here at last from Leandro on Jetiel, and then the rather rushed attempt at the clearance from Yamane. Well, not his desired introduction. Kazuya Kono came on at the weekend as well for Adailton. Did the under-23 international Kazuya Kono. Adailton, better from FC Tokyo. The tempo is up, and the desire, crucially, is there to run at the opposition. He did have options there at Ailton, but in the circumstances, committed himself to trying to test Jung. So they've gone one better than last year here. Yu Kobayashi, Manabu Saito, Hiroyuki Abe were the goal scorers on that occasion. That result lifted Frontale to third mid-season. At Ailton feeds it through. Diego Oliveira, the angle might be against him. It hit the upright, came back, and I think it Jeziel. Now then, we've had less than 3 minutes of the second half, and that's been 3 times they've created opportunities, FC Tokyo. Perhaps this isn't over yet. Jeziel and Jung stood tall, stayed on their feet there, and were able to snuff out the threat of Diego Oliveira. Corner is an out swinger. Leandro looked for it near post. Oshima rather under hits it. But a good strong start, which was what was needed, is being produced here. And Kawasaki, who rode the storm, I suppose you might say, of the opening minutes of the first half too. The difference here is that they've managed to get through FC Tokyo, something that they failed to achieve in the opening, 6-7 minutes of that first half. Jeziel, drag race there, really, with Diego Oliveira. There's a bit of a tangle, but Jeziel gets the desired outcome for FC Tokyo. Leandro came short, and no nonsense thump by Morishige. Well, Maroya, with a play coming through the middle, has not had the chance to try and add any potency to FC Tokyo's attack yet. That was his first possible chance at it. International player Sei Maroya represented Japan at all levels. Disruption of the rhythm will be part of the plan for FC Tokyo. Frontale just started to try and stamp the tempo again with the quick technical touches, the fast combinations. Abe slid in. It might roll to Diego Oliveira. Jeziel gets a good foot in, but it's set up by Ailton. Abe. Morishige. Diego Oliveira, and just nudged to touch from Taniguchi. Diego Oliveira doesn't get what he was looking for, and he's got an increasingly frustrated figure. Player who was at Kashiwa Reysol for 2 years, 2016 to 18. Also played in Korea for Suwon Blue Wings. FC Tokyo have made him their Brazilian talisman, their big attacking figurehead, as is the way with the J-League clubs Actually, second, the top scorer, joint second top scorer in the league last season, Diego Oliveira, with Douglas of Shimizu S-Pulse on 14. 14 from 33 for 30-year-old striker. Perhaps looking for one or two more than that, but still decent figures. No hint, though, tonight of that kind of deadliness in front of goal. Borizato with the free kick for Leandro Damião. Oh, well played by Damião. Had absolutely no right to win the ball there and dig out a chance. Ienaga. Adailton. He's picked the ball up well there. He rode that first challenge from Tanaka, but then not the next from Oshima. And Marashigi with the quick free kick. Leandro, he's ridden a couple of challenges there. Higashi tries to hit the byline, shoveled away though by Taniguchi. Back come FC Tokyo again. The pass is heavy. Oh, looked to have rolled out. Good attacking play though on the overlap, right hand side. Better. Now then, when the action slowed down here, we'll get a better idea of whether it went over the line. I think it did. As Adailton made that beeline for the near post. Well, there'll be a little bit of consternation and controversy if this goes in. Just a reminder, no VAR in J-League this season. In swinger, dealt with by Naborizato. Damião with the underhit. Arthur has held the ball up well there. Leandro checks back. A lot better from FC Tokyo. Leandro working the 1-2 with Arthur. And at last committing Kawasaki Frontale into the defensive interventions, into mistakes. And it'll give Diego Oliveira a chance with a free kick. Leandro perfectly happy to just take one for the team there. Tigerish from Tanaka. The yellow card for Tanaka. Yamane and Ienaga booked at the weekend. So, Diego Oliveira, something tricky being dreamed up in the wall. That's Arbe, who's kneeling at the altar. Oliveira, it's placed above Arbe, but nowhere near with enough height to defeat the wall. Arthur helps it across quickly. And expected the pattern having taken shape in this second half with FC Tokyo chasing. It's the invention and the movement, though, Frontale certainly have the edge with still. An archetypal counter-attacking performance in that first 45, and well, they're content to organise themselves in similar fashion for this half as well. Ailton has got Diego Oliveira up ahead of him. Shizia watches the ball like a hawk all the way. He's been excellent alongside Taniguchi tonight. Shizia. And along with Damião, they're the Brazilians that are set to make the headlines. Oshima. It was his terrific hit that started all the fun. Wakizaka, Damião, Yamane, Iyanaga. Oh, nudged through by Oshima, and it could and should have been 5. Very well played again, and it could and should have been a hat-trick. That was the moment. Three shots, 2 goals, the other one hit the bar for Hasegawa. Good numbers, I believe is the phrase. Damião, this for 5! No. They've missed 2 sitters within the space of a minute, and that on the back of serious pressure from FC Tokyo at the start of the second period. It's almost like they've switched off again. That really should have been on target. He can claim there that Hayashi has got a touch on it, but no such thing. So, Iyanaga replaced by Reo Hatate. Faded a little bit in this second half, but Hatate is a more than capable replacement, a member of the Japan Universiade gold medal winning squad at Naples last year. And now then, Wakizaka. Well, he's being withdrawn on the hour mark here. He has made the Kawasaki Frontale tick. So, Yasuto Wakizaka, no more of this match. Hokuto Shimoda, so more defensive-minded, but he can also push on. Is now a part of the Frontale mix. Shimoda's first touch there with his left foot, but rather under-hit. Yamane almost scratching in. Possession has been won back by Shimoda, and then Hatate scored a brilliant goal, I recall, as well, for Japan in that gold medal final at the Salernitana's ground in Campania last summer. Shimoda just in 2 minds there as to whether to try and find a colleague or give it the full hammer. In the end, he did neither. Kento Hashimoto now, and he will come on for Abe. Again, no one really has delivered on the promise today for FC Tokyo. Hashimoto, one of the 3 players in the FC Tokyo ranks who was part of the international setup. The last time Japan played at the back end of last year. That's a very loose pass by Ogawa. Well, there are still 29, just under 30 minutes, just under half an hour to play, so the game isn't completely up yet. But it's the attitude, isn't it? It's the sort of body language and the dialing down on the energy and the making sure for FC Tokyo. The mood would have been entirely different had that pressure within the opening 5 minutes of this second half seen a goal. Seeing the lead deficit eroded. The left-footed Shimoda to deliver the free kick to the far post. Well, it benefited from a shout from Hayashi there. Headed back across, and well, although they're raiding in the shots and the goals, it's not quite the time yet for an overhead to beat Hayashi from Damiao. Full Brazil international Damiao, well as being that Olympic tournament top scorer in 2012. 17 caps under Mano Menezes. Either side of London. A blink, he would have missed its spell in Europe as well with Real Betis. But won a Copa Libertadores. Cruzeiro, Santos, Internacional, the team he won the Copa with, and Flamengo. He's been at some big names as Damiao. And if you've got a Libertadores in your back catalogue and have played for some of Brazil's top teams, you are entitled to score back heel flick goals, I suppose, as we've seen today. Another cultured lift over the top. Atate was the target. Completed matches today. We've seen Cerezo Osaka beat Shimizu S-Pulse. Yeah, that's Cerezo's 100% run continuing. There were the Reds won at Galata Sendai, Yokohama FC, winning at Kashiwa Reysol by 3-1. The Consadole Sapporo are about to celebrate victory at Kashima Antlers. 2-0 up there. Vissel Kobe leading at Sagan Tosu. It's 1-1 in Hiroshima between Sanfrecce and Oita Trinita. Great game in Yokohama where the F Marinos are 3-2 ahead. Again, final whistles pending there against Shannon Belmar. And across in Nagoya. Grand Passate leads at Gamba Osaka by 2-1 as well. Kawasaki Frontale are heading for 7 points from a possible 9 here. The final 25 minutes to see out. Decent effort, and it clips the top of the bar. Leandro just giving FC Tokyo hope. Well, tempted to say that Chung Sing-rong saw that coming all the way. He just sort of motions it over, waves it over, doesn't he? Then Leandro not happy with the cross. He's actually coming in. A step back from Morishige to hit it. Seemed to knock Taniguchi back. All a little bit Keystone Cops for a minute. Oh, goalkeeper at stretch there, Jung, but never any danger that that effort was going to beat him. We've seen some flashes, haven't we, from Leandro, but sort of nothing solid and consistent, I dare say. A little too early to compare across the board, but the Frontale did start rather impressively last season. They actually were second in the table after the second round of matches. They didn't leave the top three for the first 10 weeks. The 2018 championship victory was achieved with 12 points to spare. That's how much better Kawasaki Frontale were the rest of the J-League just a couple of years ago. Leandro's effort on the turn, blocked. Pressure now from FC Tokyo, as there has to be. Going back a year further, 2017, Frontale were unbeaten in 15 at the end of the season. Manabu Saito, one of the players about to come on, is a player who arrived just after that first title win, was there for the second. Not surprising in the circumstances, although personally he'd have loved his hat-trick. But Hasegawa is being replaced, as is Oshima. Players that came on in the weekend victory over the Antlers, Saito and Morita. Both survivors of that 2018 the championship victory, having arrived at the start of that year after the first title victory. So 4 substitutions used now for Kawasaki Frontale. FC Tokyo get the decision. It was for the foul on Arthur. A pretty free-flowing game, really. Just, well, strong argument to be made there for the free kick going either way. Morita, one of the subs there on Damiao. To add Ailton, his players in support, comes back, a rather awkward one for Diego Oliveira, certainly to maintain that attacking momentum. Inside the last 20 minutes at the Ajinomoto Stadium. Try as they might, FC Tokyo have been unable to shave down this Kawasaki Frontale lead. And that reaction from Diego Oliveira rather sums it up. He's been outshone here, as has his compatriot there, Alan Andad Ailton. The Tokyo Brazilians have been put in the shade by Frontale's South American strikers. Penny for your thoughts. Toro Aniki, he'll be buzzing. "73 minutes gone." Huge match next. It was always going to be anyway for FC Tokyo, but away to the champions, the Yokohama F. Marinos on Sunday. I mean, sure, they'd have loved to have kept this winning run going, but not doing anything too dramatic to sort of undermine them and unsteady the ship would have been the order of the day here today. The best laid plans and all that means that it'll be a test really for Hasegawa to lift the team ahead of such a huge on paper fixture away from home. 2 matches on Saturday in the J League. Kawasaki Frontale face Kashiwa Reysol in one of them. Oita Trinita against Vissel Kobe too. They are going to be right up for it. They're going to be keen, aren't they, Frontale? Sort of play very economically, Frontale. Doing whatever situation is the minimum required to complete the task. Yamane, Reo Hatate. Slotted right into that system, very technically accomplished, the Frontale players. Quick turnover again. They won it back. Touch off from Hatate. Just can't quite work it through there to Naborizato, but there wasn't much in it. Diego Oliveira. Oh, and he's just taken a nick. I think that might even been from Damiao, who was snapping at his heels. Early cross, which is headed wide by Adailton. And it was a free header. That's why you're in the team. That's why you're off the bench, to certainly hit the target. Make the keeper work. Not to miss in that fashion. 29 years of age now. Adailton, and that's not quite the way to make sure you're in the starting 11 for next time round. It's always the case, I suppose. You have to manage your expectations at certain levels. There's no doubt that Adailton should have at least made Jung Seung Yong work there. Last moment to just get a little foothold in this match, possibly has passed them by. Borizato. Saito. Frontale. Almost capitalising there on some casualness from Hayashi. But they will not have the distraction of Champions League this season. Frontale, first season in 4, they haven't been involved in the top club competition. Flags up. And Leandro thought for a moment he was in. The Frontale have reached the quarter-finals of the ACL Champions League 3 times. Last of them 3 years ago. But their non-involvement this season gives them a really strong chance of making the 2021 edition. There's a question mark over his involvement, full stop here. Diego Oliveira is finally replaced with just over 10 minutes to go. Very, very little, I'm afraid, to show for the efforts. So here comes 21-year-old Koisuke Tagawa. Player is finding his way. Japan youth player Tagawa, bronze medalist in the Asian Games in Jakarta in 2018, which is a good grounds for experience and opportunity to play tournament football at age levels. Some looseness now in Frontale's play. They will hope, of course, that they've got enough in the bank. It's going to be pretty solid Frontale pressure for 10 minutes. Just how quickly can they get one on the scoreboard to spice up the contest? Morishige. One touch from Allen, but they've pressed them back, and everyone now is defending the ball, including Damiao. Kono. Leandro, early cross, never going to pick out Ailton. This third week of the J-League season and the new environment in which we all operate, the players, supporters, not at the stadium for the time being, of course, the journalists and the media teams that cover these matches, adjusting to new environments, new situations. Asagawa would have expected to have the benefit of the crowd, but no spectators is a terrific leveller, isn't it? As part of 60,000 can fit in here, and we saw this venue full of colour and vibrancy and noise and just atmospheres of wonderful hues during the Rugby World Cup last year. The Kiwis were based here. England played Argentina at the Ajinomoto Stadium. Wonderful arena. And such a shame that more haven't been present on the day to witness a clinical attacking display from Frontale. Playing keep ball again until finally Maroya gets the foot in, more out of frustration than anything else. Leandro flicks it over the top, runs away from Alan, and now Oshima plays it long. Giselle just draws the foul. This is a player who's been in complete command of the back four for Kawasaki Frontale today, not him. Hilton, the man who's been unable to make any kind of impact. So, well played, Leandro Damião. Couple of assists and the most impudent of finishes as well. The I'd say Misahiro now. In on the act straight away. Oh, there's a dummy, and it's Hatate! Finally, they dig in, do Tokyo and defend. It would have prevented a humiliating fifth goal being conceded at home, but at least that's what's happened. Check out the dummy as well. Good save from Hayashi. About time. Corner commits the goalkeeper. A couple of blue shirts tumbling into themselves. It was Shaziel who had leapt into the ball. Leandro. Shaziel, no nonsense whatsoever. Well, again, Atletico Mineiro is the highlight of Shaziel's career. He's looked very, very good tonight for Frontale. Indeed, that partnership full stop of Shaziel and Shogo Taniguchi, the 28-year-old. They should ship that away, and they do. Tanaka got it forward really well to Saito. And again, there's no colossal desire to push on and pressure. Less than 5 minutes to go. Saito. We're back to keep ball again for Kawasaki Frontale. Lovely stuff again. They're all involved, including the substitute Hatate and Shimoda. And finally, the effort drilled in by Al Tanaka. Great hit. Look how casual it was. Almost like being on the training pitch at times tonight for Kawasaki Frontale. They have been streets ahead of FC Tokyo. In swinger now from the substitute, Shimoda. Yamane. Pressure still on. We might have to work it backwards a little and do to Ao Tanaka. Here's Hakuto Shimoda. Tanaka. Hatate. Overlapper. Might fall for Ryo Hatate. Terrific effort off the line. Fabulous defending. Wasn't just sure he'd make that, Watanabe, but he guessed right, and that's prevented a fifth goal. But again, picking the opposition apart. You would be hard-pressed to spot or pick out the home team and the away team from tonight's showings. Good defending, though, credit where it's due, although in the circumstances it's a little bit like putting up an umbrella in a hurricane. Still, they have the freedom of the FC Tokyo penalty box, and still they're looking for a fifth goal. Well, having been content to play very much within themselves for the majority of the second half, they could have added another couple at the end here, the Frontale. Low one, carried all the way across. And not remotely convincingly dealt with there. Shimoda. One-touch stuff. Little back flick by Tanaka for Shimoda. Now Nabarizato. Chance to counter. Not quite. Well, naturally, if this was a boxing contest, the referee would have stopped the bout long before now. Not too much further torture to endure for Kenta Hasegawa and FC Tokyo. The 100% start to the season has been taken apart here by superior opposition in almost every regard. Quickly taken, free kick. Shimoda, the player who's given his chance late on with the match already won. They've seen a lot of the ball, these attacking substitutes, Tate, Shimoda and Saito. It's been the energy and the intent, really, even after they got themselves into an unassailable position from Frontale. It bodes extremely well for this season. Shimoda. Again, a lot of the players are in the headspace of training session, I think, now. Possibly goes for the FC Tokyo players as well. Now they're pressing FC Tokyo, even at this stage in the match, 4-0 down, and they are forcing the opposition back to their own goal line. Well, they've been stronger, they've been fitter, they've been everything you need to be today, Kawasaki Frontale. And just remember, Yu Kobayashi has still to come back. Kawasaki Frontale looking decent shape for the 2020 J-League campaign. They need to get Diego Oliveira and their Brazilians firing to FC Tokyo. I'm sure there'll be a lot of debate about the decision to include Diego Oliveira from the start tonight. His mobility seemed to be down. He couldn't get them going at all. It might well be that all the stars have aligned tonight for Toru Aniki, the Kawasaki Frontale's coach. But is there going to be a 5? Is there going to be a cherry on top here for Frontale? Well, they're certainly going to have a corner to try and get that. Manabu Saito just checked back on the left-hand side, waited for other bodies to give him options. And the misery is almost over. Misery for FC Tokyo, that is. And the clock is run down here. And a fabulous 4-goal first half haul here has lifted Kawasaki Frontale to a hugely impressive victory on the road at the Ajinomoto here at FC Tokyo tonight. No goals in the